Let's get some reaction now with Dr. Angela Wilkinson. She's Secretary General at the World Energy Council, joining us live from London to discuss this and other issues in the energy market. Angela, so good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. What's your take on this new European energy plan? I think the Europeans' ambitions are laudable, but are they losing sight of reality?
Well, hi, Dan. What we're seeing is what's happening in the European Union is mirroring what's happening in other world regions, according to our most recent World Energy Pulse. So the world's experiencing this first global energy shock, which is caused by a consumer-driven energy security crisis. And the European approach to this three-pronged strategy of weaning itself off Russian gas, which is a diversification of its supply side, combined with its ramp up of renewables and an increasing investment in energy efficiency and energy savings, is similar to what's happening in other world regions as well. So not surprising, very ambitious. And of course, the challenge is never just what we want to do. It's always about how we're going to do it. And the big question is who's going to pay for it?
That's exactly right. And Angela, when you look at the overall implications here, what do you see as the long run implications of Russia's ongoing decoupling from the European and global energy supply system?
Well, it's a lot of energy to take out of the system all at once. It's a big chunk of the global gas markets, a big chunk of the global oil supply. But I think what it does is, with our World Energy Pulse survey, we asked people, what are the implications of this for accelerating or decelerating the global energy transition? And what we find is that over half of the respondents of our most recent survey across 87 countries believe that this current situation will accelerate the pace towards global energy transition. That's over 50%, but 35% are concerned that it will reduce the pace and 15% are unsure. So mixed opinions about what the long run implications are. But what's clear is that just 6 months ago, we were only talking about climate security. A year ago, we were talking about the COVID crisis and recovery. And now we've got this rolling series of crises in energy, COVID, climate, conflict. And now we've got cost of living crisis being triggered in many countries. And that's going to be a big game changer around how we deal with the current situation.
Absolutely. So what did the World Energy Pulse tell us about what governments need to do to address some of the price shocks that we see as a result of this energy crisis on consumers?
Yeah, I suppose that's the big surprising result is that over 60% of people responding said governments need to do more to protect consumers from these price shocks. And we're seeing a mix of measures. On the supply side, as you pointed out, from the European perspective and from other regions such as North America and the Middle East, we're seeing the emphasis on diversification of supply, on ramping up renewables, particularly offshore wind and solar, and thirdly, around energy efficiency gains. Now, of course, energy efficiency gains aren't possible in all places. You've got to be able to waste energy before you can reap the return of energy efficiency gains. But interestingly, we're seeing a much diversified mix of responses on managing the demand side of the response to this crisis. And what we're also finding is a startling statement that actually, despite the diversity of demand side measures, and that includes everything from your energy efficiency measures to windfall taxes to price caps, we're seeing statements that actually governments need to do more, but they need new approaches to managing this crisis. We need a redesign of electricity markets, for example.